Another very special edition of Pod on Lansdowne coming down the pipe for you, our loyal listeners. I am Jason Scheel, aka Fitz. I'm joined by Brad Ziegler, aka Liam. Before we started recording, before Liam was even in the room, we were trying to figure out what year Brad Ziegler was on the team, 16, 17, right around that time. I think it was 17. And helping me
16.
in that... Oh, it was 16.
Oh, it
sorry,
was 16?
fellas. Yeah,
it was
sorry.
actually. Oh, my apologies. Okay, so
Wow.
but then my trusty assistant, Dom Smith, aka Jake, who's already getting ahead of the curve with the Dom Smith name. We were talking about a Fernando Abad, and to my surprise, he was also on the 2017 Red Sox. He was the deadline acquisition in 16, but I thought he was just there for a half season. But I guess that's not the case.
He was. I remember the Cubs were at Fenway like early on in 2017, and he had like some huge strikeout. I have a photo on my phone, and it looks electric. It's
Very forgettable season, 2017.
2017?
Yeah.
Because they didn't have JDM. It was the gap year between Poppy and JDM.
Yeah.
That when they had absolutely zero power that entire year.
Still the number one offense in baseball, though. People forget.
Really? Just in terms of
Were they really?
offensive up?
No, I might have made that up. I don't know.
I think you are. Yeah. I think you're completely making that up. 2017 Red Sox. Who led the team?
I mean, they still won the division.
No, they still won the division. It was a 4-game series against Houston?
Yeah,
Game
to finish the year.
Got fucking lit up. That was not fun. 2017 Red Sox. Who do you think led the team in home runs in 2017? And how many do you think it was?
Pardon me, they were actually 10th. They were actually 10th best offense.
Oh, there you go. Close enough, right? You got the one in there. The one was correct. Sure. You got that number.
I'm not sure where I pulled that. Well, I think were they first in 16 and 18? That's probably
that makes more sense. Yeah, they were
had a good
first
offense
in
16. Gotta imagine they were first in 18. Yeah, okay. So that's what it was.
led the team in home runs in 17?
Yeah.
Who? Oh, is this a trivia question?
Yeah, who do you think?
I mean, I want to say
how many was it?
I want to say it's Mookie, but that sounds too easy.
It is Mookie. Mookie had how many do you think? Price is Right style. If you go over, you lose.
I'm gonna say 23.
23. Jake, how many do you think?
27.
Liam is the winner. 24.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. If Devers didn't exist this year, I think the Red Sox leader this year would have 15 by the end of the season.
Well, Bobby Dahlbeck's third on the team with 10.
Yeah,
Donkenbonk would have it. Mookie also had 102 RBIs that year too, so you know what I mean. It was still
that's
pretty
insane.
productive.
Oh, the Rays are acquiring Jose Siri from Astros in as a 3-team deal, sending Trey Mancini to Houston.
I see.
So that's a bigger deal. That's breaking news. Breaking news.
Scoot about and bet up.
Okay, that's actually, and I'll put it in there. But I was going to task Liam with this. Liam, as it is getting up onto the deadline, this is going to be released on trade deadline day. But this is the last full day you can make trades because I think it's 6:00 deadline on Tuesday the 2nd.
That sounds about right.
So you're going to get a lot of trades coming in the next 24 hours or so. So as we record here on Monday the 1st, first of all, welcome into Pod on Lansdowne. Again, Twitter, Instagram, at Pod on Lansdowne. Rate the show 5 stars, all that kind of fun stuff. But back to the business here. Liam, I am tasking you with a very important job today. Any breaking news, notable breaking news. I'm not saying if Joe Schmo gets claimed off waivers by the Tigers. It's not
okay. Danny Santana has been called up to the Red Sox.
You know what? You've got the oven
Show's
on.
Over. Show's over.
Exactly. Cut it. You've got the oven mitt on, Liam, and you consistently keep your hand on the stove. If that stove starts getting hot, I give you full reign to yell skibidi bop bop, do the scat manually, and depending on how severe, how big the news is, the louder you get with the scat. So if it's David Robertson of the Cubs was traded to the Dodgers, you could do a skibidi bop bop. And then
But if it's Juan Soto to the Dodgers, I'm going to blow your eardrums out.
you like scream and like blow out your vocal cords. You have my authority. You should do it. That's the deal here. So again, welcome in. A lot of stuff to talk about here. We actually started earlier than we wanted to, originally wanted to, rather, because we're going to have a lot of things to get to. Red Sox related, not Red Sox related, not baseball related, I imagine, it being a regular Pod on Lansdowne episode. Let's do choose your own adventure. Do we want to start with the Red Sox discourse, or do we want to start like summing up like what's just recently happened in terms of, deadline day stuff? Because even before we hit record, a couple big bombshells. Yeah, let's start with the Red Sox stuff. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get that out of the way. We'll get that out of the way quickly.
Get that out of the way, and then we
so it's a Red Sox show. Yeah, I should start with the Red Sox stuff. We're fucked. Any thoughts?
That's not new. That's not new.
No,
I'm fine with it. I've come to peace. I'm at peace with it.
I'm getting to.
I wish we could go back to last week's episode and figure out like what we said the best and worst case scenarios for that homestand were. Because I'm sure none of us said 3 and 7.
No, I might have said 3 and 7. I was pretty down on them. I was the only one.
I tried holding out hope.
Talk about just like not showing up. I mean,
just completely
lifeless. I mean, the yellow jerseys helped a little, I guess, but you still only split that series with Cleveland.
And losing in every which way possible, getting your dick kicked in, losing tight games, blowing games like that game Wednesday against Cleveland. They should have had that one in the bag, but it was a 7-6 loss. Last time we spoke to you, since then, the Red Sox, well, they actually won those 3 games. They won Monday, and then they won Wednesday. They won Thursday rather than they won Sunday. Lost everyone else. Now you go on the road for a 7-game road stretch, 3 of them including Houston, who look to be World Series contenders yet again. Not breaking any news there, but you nailed it on the head there, Liam. Just completely, what a fucking blown opportunity to get back into the hunt after a tough start to the month, and just tying a bow on this complete shit soup of a month of July. Just completely wetting the bed. I don't know what else is there to say. It's just the offense was uninspiring, blown leads, defensive lapses, the fucking Franchi Cordero at first base the other day. My goodness gracious. Absolute disastrous. Just throwing the ball into the State Street Pavilion, trying to get it over to first base. It's a mess, and I really don't know what else to say on that. I don't know how much more energy I could waste, Jake. You, on the other hand, Jake, you were ahead of the curve on all of this.
Jake Stradamus.
Yeah, the writing, they called me a madman. The writing's been on the wall, I thought, for a little while. And like, people were trying to skirt around the whole hadn't won a series versus an AL East team, but that is a real indictment on a team. Like, if you're not
just thought they were due, man.
Anybody.
Did you guys know, fun fact, the Cincinnati Reds have more series wins against the AL East than the Red Sox do?
Get out of here. They did. What?
Yeah.
They've got I think they've got 3. I know they've beaten the Yankees. They just beat the Orioles in a series. I don't know what the other one is. How many do we have?
2?
Against the AL East?
We have 0.
A whopping.
I thought we had at least 1.
No, I think we're 0-11 and 1. And the only one was that Yankees series we split.
Yeah. So I've what else is there to say? I've kind of been ahead of the curve on this, I guess, like you said. But I'm excited.
Smart.
I think there's fun. I think there's still fun to be had this season. I think we can have a good
ever the optimist.
Once we get past tomorrow and we sort of see where things lie, then it's like, let's have some fun. You got
a little bit of a turning a new leaf there, Jake. Just being like, you know what, they're the shitpost Sox now. They're just, we're just
yeah. Well, it's like when what year? 14. They sold Lester, Lackey, fucking Johnny Gomes, whatever. But that was like, it's almost better to do that. Well, it is better in the long run to do that than to hold on to this like false sense of like 2019. they stood pat, which was like the worst possible thing you could do.
Whoa! You're telling me Andrew Kashner didn't move the needle?
Right? Yes. Sorry.
Jake, bump up your mic audio when you get a second too. By the way, but continue with your. You don't have to right now, but
I was a little far away from it, maybe. But it's like I don't know. Let's see what we can get today and tomorrow. We'll call up probably Tristan Cassis is going to come up, which we can get into if it's that.
Yep.
And it's like, we'll see what we have for next year. I think they can still be a good team next year. Like, they're not going to suck at this is a disappointing year. Absolutely. To be completely fair, they have been like reasonably decimated by injuries. Like it wasn't like,
it could be a couple of different.
Like guys are underperforming. Yes. And it's kind they played like shit at different times, but like almost the whole rotation has spent significant parts of the season on the IL, or like your big signing has missed a lot of time now and he's going to miss more. Like it's not, or your center fielder's been out basically the whole season now.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of different things to point to, and it's disappointing and it sucks, but I don't think it's fully like a performance issue.
Right. Yeah. It could be a couple. It's never just one thing. It's, with those injuries, it's also been horrible defensive lapses when you thought maybe this team was making some strides on defense. They made some just complete boneheaded plays that have cost them like multiple games at this point. Simple shit. Simple base running errors. Like fucking Jarren Duran getting picked off at first base, which I am 100% done with him. I tweeted that the other day and people seem to have gotten behind that. I've never soured as quickly on a player as I have on Jarren Duran. I'm so out on that dude, but that's not the point. But you are right. They've had a lot of bad injury luck, and it's just all kind of just come together in a tornado of shame.
It's cosmic gumbo.
A cosmic, sort of like a cosmic gumbo. Seen every cock on the planet. Detective Crashmore. Now, as we go into, because it can't be a good team in 2023, Jake. You're right. But going into that, at this point, as we get to the trade deadline, and this has been a conversation all season long, like it feels like for like over a year at this point, regarding Xander Bogaerts' contract situation, which we've talked about ad nauseum on the show.
I've come back around on it.
He was apparently told by the front office that they don't plan on shipping him out of town.
So pay him.
With that said,
you gotta pay him.
There is no way in hell you can just let him walk for a compensation pick. There's no way. You have to pay him. Which is what they should have done in the first place.
I won't put up an argument on that. And I think I was reading tweets when he said that they said that, when he said they wouldn't trade him. And it's like, if this is what he gives you every year, I mean, is his power gone? What do you guys think? Are we there with him?
Xander, or if it's Xander, make him the leadoff hitter. He's the one or the two hitter.
I wouldn't make him leadoff. He's a little slow for leadoff for me, but I put him 2.
Yeah.
Sure. But
you still know what you're going to.
I mean, like, I'm fine with 25, and then he plays short for a couple more years, and then go put him in left or something. I don't know. Third even, and then move Dever. Who cares? I don't know. You figure it out, I guess. But it's now that you're not trading him, you got to pony up. You're not losing him for nothing. Or a pick, whatever. Picks can be good, I guess.
I don't even know if it'd be. Where would that pick be in the 40s?
Yeah,
that's not worth it.
Yeah, I guess
it would. Yeah.
He's still a productive hitter. Like he could still square up on the ball. He was never, the most powerful kind of a guy. Like I think did he ever actually hit 30 in one year? I think he hit 33.
Yeah, 2019.
Xander, we looked. Yeah,
19 he was.
Yeah,
maybe,
I was just
maybe a little juice ball action on that one, but
I was looking. I was trying to pull up his Savant page.
Him and Yelich.
But yeah, exactly. You can get.
Speaking of another, let's just real quick. I was looking at Christian Yelich's.
Sarah Griffin, block your ears if you're listening to this, Sarah. Cover your ears.
During the season, and a solid player for the first 4 years of his career. He's hovering around a 750, high 700s OPS. 18-19, boom, he has an OPS of 1,000 2 years in a row.
I think one of them was like 1,100.
2019 was 1,100.
Okay. Yeah. Now we're back down to like 750. Like it's so bizarre.
Still a good player. Still gets on base at a good. What's that?
Yeah, it's like the Brady Anderson thing, but for 2 years. He did it twice.
Yeah, he still gets on base at a good clip. Has generally been like a solid player, like all around, but had that pop for a couple of years. Now that's just not part of his profile anymore.
Did they give him the bag? Did he get a bag?
Yes, they did.
I think they did give him the bag.
They gave
let me see what they got.
Was the bag after one of those seasons? Gotta be.
Oh, it had to have been.
I think it was after the second.
He's locked up through 2029. That's his age 37 season.
Oh, that's
he's looking at 26 per at least through age 36.
Oof. Hey, get that bag, King. He's not
got
forever, Pat, but yeah.
Yeah. So
God bless him.
No.
Anyway, God bless him.
I just wanted to. I was looking at him.
Anyways, back to Xander. Like he's still going to get on base at a good amount. The expected slugging is 39th percentile there. Yeah, not ideal, but you could still see him squaring up the ball. He still has a good approach as a hitter. Even if he's not going to have 30 home run potential, he could still be a very valuable player. And oh, by the way, if you are a StatCast believer, 77th percentile and outs above average. So much for him being a bad defender. Actually, if you watch the games and used your eyes, you would know that he was never a bad defender in the first place. He was never going to be a superstar Gold Glove defender. But again, I've talked about that for however many times on this here program. But you have to extend him at this point. You can't just let him walk. That was just kind of a general point there. As for new faces that we could be seeing, and we hinted it a couple of minutes ago, interesting tidbit about Triston Casas. You may be sitting there as a Red Stocking fan, wondering why Triston Casas, this first base prospect that we've heard about for a couple of years now at this point, and especially the last year or so, given A, how good of a player he projects to be, and B, given how shite first base has been for this team, especially on the defensive end, for quite some time now. And also C, considering the lack of power in this lineup, you may be saying, Triston Casas would be a perfect guy to call up at this point. And Jake was very much on that train. I think a lot of people were. Jake found a nice little tidbit. Take it away, Jake. This from Twitter.com.
Yeah, so this is credit from Chris Hadfield from Sox Prospects. So apparently, if the Red Sox wait until August 19th to call Triston Casas up to the majors, he will retain his rookie eligibility for the 2023 season. And then the Red Sox can get a draft pick if he finishes in the top 3 in the Rookie of the Year voting next year. And he says it would be silly to call him up sooner. And so I done a little bit of research. I can explain this. This is new. It was a change in the CBA this year to reward teams for player development through. Like if you get a top 3 Rookie of the Year, it's like, oh, you get a draft pick because that was great. You developed a great player, which, sure. It was supposed to be a service time burning incentive thing. So, a team will be more inclined to call up a guy earlier in the year.
Not just try to carry over his super two, basically. Yeah.
Flip the other way because now it's like, why burn his rookie eligibility? You're splitting like a 2-week difference and you're not that good of a team. Anyway, so I imagine they'll wait. I imagine he'll be up the 20th, probably.
And that makes. I had to guess. And when that makes sense, Jake. That makes sense after you go 3-7 in a 10-game home stretch out of the All-Star.
No, I support.
That's what it makes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I didn't. That makes sense. That I totally forgot. I totally forgot about the.
So I'm done. I guess I'm done talking about it for the next 19 days. I guess.
Yeah. Right.
But after that.
He's here.
The second the clock turns to August 19th or whatever day, you want him in that starting lineup. Now, had they even if they went 500 and they picked up another, game on after the shit homestand, even if they stretched it to 500 or even broke 500, went 6-4 or something like that, I would have said fuck that. To forget the draft pick potentially that you may or may not get in the future. You can claw your way back into this race, but that's not that's not the reality we live in now. You went 3-7 on the homestand, and now you have to play Houston for 3. So it's if they were still just on the outside looking in, I'd say call it up now. You need as much offense as you can get for this 2-week stretch. You could end up being in or out based off of 1 or 2 games. Now it's how many games back are the Red Sox in the wild card officially?
4 and a half.
God, I haven't looked in several
4.5
days.
maybe.
4.5, which at this point that doesn't sound as bad, but 2 weeks ago we were saying, hey, 4 doesn't sound that bad. That's 2 weeks worth.
Sounds pretty bad now.
Games. Yeah, you're starting to run out of time a little bit here. It's going to be harder to make up ground, especially if teams like Seattle are buying things like that. It's going to be tough to keep pace, and the clock is not your friend at this point. So, it's a different situation that if they were 3 games back, 2.5 back, I'd say no, fuck it, call them up. They need the offense.
If my aunt had wheels, she'd be a bike. It's one of those things.
Yeah, exactly, right?
One of those.
If Liam had $1 billion, he would not be doing this podcast right now.
No, he would not.
He'd be doing it for the love of the game. That's all.
If the situation were completely different, then there would be different circumstances. But alas, that is not the case. Do we want to?
I don't know. I don't know how much more we can say on them right now until after tomorrow.
First of all,
some Heim discourse.
Before we get into the Heim stuff, does anyone have a fuck with and a don't fuck with?
Christian Arroyo. Thank you for Saturday and Sunday.
Cool,
the only baseball player that showed up. He's a real baseball player, so he can stay.
I'm going to say I fuck with JD and Vaz just in case they get traded. And if they do get traded, we'll have more on them at some later date. But
Nate also isn't.
I don't think Nate will get traded. I think people are seeing what Nate Eovaldi's doing right now, and they're like, I am all set. His velo's down. He doesn't look good.
I'm interested to see how he does tonight, especially since Houston's the one that tagged him for 6 home runs in an inning.
Yeah.
You were thinking of moving him? I don't know.
Last showcase. I don't know.
Wait a day. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Yeah. So, fellas, I've done some soul searching. I'm going to go into a soliloquy here. Is that cool?
No, take it away.
All right, so I've done some soul searching, and I've been a Heim guy. I've been on the Bloom train since he got here. I fuck with his vision. I want him to build. But lately, fellas, I've been a bit disillusioned with what I'm seeing.
Great word for it.
A little jaded. And let me be clear. I'm still on the Heim train.
Oh, well, let me be
He's still my guy. He's my dear friend. I met him in the grandstands a couple weeks ago. He's a dear friend of mine, but I think he's made some mistakes, and I just want to get your guy. I want to hear what you guys are thinking.
I get where you're coming from. I get what you mean. First of all, the Mookie thing I don't put on him. That was a call from the top. That was Henry.
Okay, well, so
that was
I
FSG.
actually want to speak on that specifically.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
None of his moves, literally none of his moves, do I have a problem with who he traded. I think that's fine pretty much across the board. Where I think
there's a matter of what you got.
Problem, his returns are really not good across the board.
Really not good. Very bad.
Really not good. So, I mean, Mookie Betts, one of the greatest players in the history of the Red Sox.
Best homegrown player since Ted Williams.
Also, David Price was. We don't need to do that discourse, but I'm just giving you the nuts and bolts of the trade here. Also, David Price was in that, which was a salary dump, so that does decrease the value a little bit. You get back Alex Verdugo, who's useful, not great. Jeter Downs, who doesn't look like anything really, and Connor Wong, who's a backup catcher.
Yeah, Jerry's still out on Downs. He's still adjusting to the league. Progression is not linear. I know that's a cliche, but it's true. I guess we'll see what happens with him. I'm not entirely convinced that Alex Verdugo is a great ball player. I think he's a solid ball player, and I think he could
great.
be.
I said you.
No, I think some people would say he's great. I'm not saying you think he's great. I think a lot of people on Red Sox Twitter, God bless them, they are convinced that Alex Verdugo is maybe not an all-star kind of, but like a really, really good player. He's fine. He's a solid player. He's a solid role player, and to his credit, he's a guy who can step up in big moments. That also sounds cliche, but it is true. He has many, situations. He's demonstrated his ability to step up when it counts.
Higher than 6 on a good team. He's one of those guys.
He has no pop, man. You'd be lucky to get. What's the most consistently that you could ask for in terms of home runs for Alex Verdugo in a year?
12.
15? 15 tops? 15. 15 if you're lucky.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. And this isn't even an indictment on the the players specific.
He's fine. But for a trade for the main part of a Mookie Betts trade, not great.
I'm not saying like fuck these guys in particular. I'm just saying like the return is not what you want. So that was his. That wasn't his first trade, but it was the big one. So then after that, this is probably his masterwork. Is the Brandon Workman and Heath Hembree for Seabold and Pivetta. I got no problems there. That's a good one.
Easy. Considering that Workman later came back to the Red Sox.
Yes.
And he sucked for the month in Philly. He was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one, cool. Hein, really good job there. Credit where credit's due. And then this was the 2020 deadline. Then you got Mitch Moreland for Hudson Potts and Jason Rosario. That's whatever. Who cares? Kevin Pillar for Jacob Wallace. This one could be good. Yohan Abar for Christian Koss. Koss is a decent prospect, maybe. We don't know. I've seen some rumbles. And then there's a couple nothing trades. Okay, then we arrive at the Andrew Benintendi trade, which is another one I think I have a problem with. A couple things. Benny was traded at literally he had no value at that point in his career. He was coming off a year where he was fucking terrible. I don't know why they traded him at that time. And the return, you've got Franchi, who, as we know, can't play baseball anymore. Winkowski, who the jury's
at least
out,
not first
I guess,
base.
but he hasn't wowed me. He gets no swings and misses.
Winkowski, if I could just say one thing about Winkowski, and when he's on, he could be pretty solid, and he could end up being a solid pitcher.
If he becomes a useful 3-4, I'm all for it.
Sure. Yes.
I think that's like the ceiling, though.
When Winkowski, so far that when things start to get bad
3-4,
for him,
you think Winkowski can be a 3? 3?
I mean, I would say that's like the ceiling. I'm not. He's not the ace.
That's to the moon, I think.
We all know Austin Davis is the ace. Come on now.
That's right.
Big fudge, dear Maria, count me in. When things start going bad for Winkowski, it gets real bad. It snowballs. When it rains, it pours with him. It feels like.
Well, if guys aren't hitting the ball at people, it's a disaster with him. I mean, that's his. He's all contact.
So, yeah, I mean, you can live as a ground ball guy, but it's yeah.
Bayo's living on the ground ball and just gets killed by our defense.
Bayo has way better stuff, though.
For sure.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no denying that.
Anyway.
I'm just saying, it's another area where the defense is just.
But back to the Benny trade. I agreed they should trade Benny. I didn't really see a real future for him with the Sox, but I think that return is kind of ass too. At this point,
here's the thing with the Benny trade. It's nice that he's an all-star again. It sucks he's with the Yankees, but he's clearly rejuvenated.
He figured
his
it
career
out.
A little
He
bit.
figured his shit out. Yeah,
and yeah, I know you don't want to trade guys when they're at their lowest value, but you want to talk about the writing being on the wall. It wasn't working in Boston with him. It just wasn't.
I also think there was a lot going on. I think there was also a lot going on behind the scenes between him, the front office, his agent. There were rumblings about that the agency was telling him one thing, the Red Sox wanted him to do a different thing, and that's why he ended up bulking up.
You got sources?
I hear things. I heard it through the grapevine a couple years ago.
Right.
It makes you think.
Yeah. So that's just
part of the reason he bulked up and then was nothing after that.
His entire MO with the Red Sox, definitely during 2020, but it also felt like parts of 2019 just completely changed. He was trying to hit for power, 25, 30
No, he sucked in
player.
2019.
Yeah,
he was bad.
He tried to he was out in front of everything. He was chasing anything low. It's that's not the kind of player you are. And then lo and behold, he goes back to just being a double sort of a hitter. He's back to being productive. There's no shame in that, Benny. You don't have to be Joey Gallo. You could be Andrew Benintendi. Be you, and it worked. Now he's playing on a contender after being an all-star this year. But clearly that the whole thing wasn't working with the Red Sox. So to go and say, oh, well, Benintendi's an all-star now, and look at the return we got for him. Hindsight is 2020. It's a bad trade, looking back on it, of course, but I think there's a lot of revisionist history going on with the Benintendi trade, so I can't totally fall blame on that. You know what I mean?
No, that's not that. Well, no, that's again another thing. Like I said, the guy that gets traded in these is like never my problem with it. Like, I basically defend him whenever he lets go of somebody. It's what's coming back, and on that point, another one which is kind of this one's a little different, but the Jeffrey Springs and Chris Mazza for Ronaldo Hernandez and Nick
Jeffrey
Sogard.
Springs has been great this year.
He's so good really for the Rays. So stupid.
We don't know if Hernandez. I mean, he'll probably come up in next week.
If anyone, as a Chaim guy,
he's with the team in Houston right now.
As a Chaim guy, you'd think he would be the one guy to know that if Tampa Bay calls up looking for a pitcher, you should say no.
Yeah,
he would be the one person who knows that. But
so that one's bad too. And then there's the Schwarber trade for Ramirez. I admittedly don't know a lot about him. Aldo Ramirez.
That worked.
Sure. Yeah, it worked. Chavis for Davis. Cool. Davis is a fine reliever. And then we arrive at the Renfroe trade, which this is probably the most egregious one, I think, for me.
See, I feel like that's recency bias, just because we saw him go...
No, but it's not, because he's having almost the exact same year bit there.
I mean, I love Hunter Renfroe, and he would have been great on this team this year. But I do think like the return, David Hamilton at the very least, could be something. I don't think I don't think we can grade it yet. I don't think we can grade it yet.
We just let a starting outfielder go. We took back the worst player on the fucking team and paid him $10 million.
But he's the puppy. He's the puppy who pees on the floor, and it's okay. We
That's
still
right.
love him.
Like, we love JBJ. If it was anybody else, I would be on Jake's side.
Top 15 prospects. They're not even in there. Like
spin zone. That means that the system's deep. There you go.
Well, I was going to say,
ooh, there you go.
Solid now, but it's like if you're trading your starting right fielder he's pushing 30 bombs a year. I mean, he's not great at defense, but whatever.
The arm makes up for it.
Yeah, nice arm.
I mean, the triple he gave up to Arroyo.
Yeah. Nice feet too. He's got fantastic feet.
Again, I totally get what the idea was. Like, okay, career year, let's get something back for him. What they got back is not that good. Like for
in the context of the 2022 Boston Red Sox, yeah, it's a horrible trade.
Yes, it's
100%.
Not good.
I also, and you know what, this isn't totally logical. As good as Renfroe was at times in 2021, and I appreciate like his August stretch was on fire. He left such a bad fucking taste in my mouth with the ALC. No, yes, I would have really given him a piggyback to Milwaukee if I could have in the middle of the winter.
He was grounded into double plays like it was his fucking job.
And if he wasn't, he was just completely flailing up there like he had a pool noodle in his hand and just had no idea what he was doing. Again, the benefit of hindsight with this is 2020, but you do have a point there. It's not as much as who you let up. It's who's being brought in. So I get both sides of the Chaim discourse kind of up to
that's my rant, I guess.
Any other trades there?
We'll see what he does in the next 24. No, that's it. I mean, there's other ones, but they're all like little.
Yeah, minor ones here and there. But you just,
so we'll see what he does the next 24 and a half hours. I mean, prove me wrong. Go get some studs. I don't know. Again, I am a Chaim guy.
Yeah.
I do see the vision. I think they'll be really, really good in probably 2 years.
I do too, and I'm still backing Chaim.
Something's not there. Something's not there for me always. I don't know.
Yeah, some questionable calls, but again, I still do buy the vision. And then at the end of the day, I can sit there and talk about, hindsight's 2020. But the flip side of that, to be fair, is at the end of the day, it's the results that ultimately count. If you're going to be the GM of the Boston Red Sox,
the team sucks. Like,
they're not good.
It's impossible to have a crystal ball, but you basically kind of almost have to have a crystal ball. We can say, oh well, the trade maybe made sense at the time, doesn't work out now. If a trade ends up looking bad in hindsight, it still ends up looking bad. It's a bit of a perception is reality sort of deal.
Yeah. Anyway.
No,
Liam, or what were you saying, Liam?
No, I was gonna say I understand where Jake's coming from because
100%.
I feel like, I think we're all in agreement that Chaim's the guy. He inherited a mess and.
Ask So like those Twitter, like the who's on Twitter, like, oh, what do we trust Heim? Like I'm not that.
But especially like this year, like I
missing the forest for the trees kind of people. What was that? I didn't mean to cut you off.
But no. It's just like I get it with this year because things just not out of his control just haven't worked out.
Yeah, I get the fucking sale with the what is Heim supposed to do about that? A comebacker like that. You know, you could say, oh, well, he should have addressed right field after trading Renfroe. They should have done something about that. They should have done more to address the bullpen.
That's the big one, I would say. The right field is like the big one. Because even
then, it's like if you
expected Cassis to probably come up early summer, midsummer if he doesn't fuck his ankle up. But right field had nothing. There was no plan there. And that's probably the one that's like...
My thinking was that they were in on Suzuki, but also he's been injured on and off this year, so we would be doing the same thing with him. It's like I don't know. I think it long term, if we get to the point where like at least they spent this past off season, like I don't think it means they're not going to be spending in the future, but
better not.
I mean
they got some guys they got to pony up.
But like the farm, I feel like is essentially at the place we want it to be, and that was the biggest reason he came in. So.
Yeah, you come in newly healthy. You know, people locked up say Xander gets a deal. You know, Devers continues to progress. Everyone's relatively healthy. We get to this time next year, and I think
we also got surprised by the 2021 run. Because like, that teased us. It really teased us.
It did. I was thinking about that the other day. Like I said, I think I said this last week. Like ultimately, this team is in a very bizarre position, organizationally. Like they have a couple studs, like all-star MVP type guys. Devers at this point is, I would say. But then they have tremendous holes in other places. They've got a couple really strong prospects. They have some older pitching and some very young pitching. And it's just weird ultimately. But Liam, 100%. Like if they win 85 games last year, it's like, okay, like sure, keep it going next year. But then they go ahead and
get 2 games away from winning the pennant. Yeah.
You get 2 games away from the pennant, which is nobody was expecting.
No.
And I wanted to say on top of that with like this sort of organizational purgatory thing they're in, I think it pretty much ends this offseason because that's when a Xander decision has to come. It can't wait any longer. And Devers probably, if he doesn't sign, he is getting traded before the season starts. So you're which is obviously I don't want, but that's what happened with Mookie. So then you have like nobody else that's pressing like anything like that. He has full reign after this offseason. Like just do it, right? I think they're like the 2 big question marks.
You would think. Yeah. I mean, some money tied up from the previous regime, you know.
Well, I mean, thankfully David Price comes off the books this year.
That's a Sale's the only one.
Yeah, Sale's it.
Evaldi too, right? Heim didn't. Evaldi got an extension after 2018. Heim wasn't in.
No, I'm saying after this offseason, it's all Heim.
Yes,
like,
that's okay. Yeah. We're saying the same thing, just from different way. Okay, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
So, okay, perfect. So, yeah, I guess that's some Heim discourse there for you. So, trust the process, even though it's been a frustrating sort of year. I don't even feel like talking about us playing the Astros. I'm just kind of like. I'm like Scooby-Doo gulping right now. Raggy.
I
the Astros.
The Astros, I think, unfortunately, just because of how much the Yankees struggle with them. I mean, ultimately, they'll probably be the ones. That's the ALCS. I think something goes horribly wrong if that's not the ALCS, right?
Yeah, I feel like the Astros are just fated to play against an American League East team in the ALCS for the rest of the time.
Yeah. When's the last time the Astros didn't make the LCS?
2016.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Which is insane. And let's see that they're 2-0 against the Yankees. They're 1-1 against the Sox and 0-1 against the Rays.
Help me. Oh, Cleveland and Chicago. Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. Who did Cleveland beat in that AL? Toronto, right?
Yeah, Toronto. It's so weird thinking Toronto went to back-to-back ALCSs in 15.
Well, that's when they went all in really briefly, right?
14,
yeah.
Hold on 1 second. 14 was
14 was Kansas City and Baltimore.
13 Red Sox obviously won the World Series. 12, who did the Tigers beat in the ALCS?
Yankees.
Swept
2011
was Rangers, Tigers.
So since 2012, there's been at least one ALCS team American League East team in the ALCS.
That's
right?
Not that way. There's only 3 divisions. I mean, it's starting
but still, like
somebody's got to get there.
How many AL Central teams made it in that run? Not many.
It's really just the Tigers.
Oh, I guess the
Royals, and the Tigers.
Royals, Tigers,
and Cleveland, I guess.
Yeah, Cleveland. The artist formerly known as the Indian.
Still, the point, like that's like it's kind of impressive, you know. AL West. I mean, the Astros have been on this run, but other than that, I mean,
this kind of leads. I have something we could talk about. It was
that?
In the news a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to bring it up. The MLB is interested in expansion, which makes sense. So the only, the NBA and the MLB both have 30, but NHL and NFL have 32 teams. So I was thinking, if they go 32, you think they go four divisions of 8, like it used to be?
Ooh, I always just assumed they would go NFL with 8 divisions of 4.
No, that sucks. I don't like that personally.
My thing is like with a balanced schedule now. I like. Do we really need divisions? Like, just you could do ALNL. I don't really care, right?
No,
everybody's gonna play each other the same
it's
number of times.
It's for travel.
Yeah,
yeah.
Don't.
There's so many games.
You don't play each other. You play. No, wait, Liam. What are you talking about? That's not true.
But isn't next year they're going to a balanced schedule? So it's like we only see the Yankees.
They're not. They're just you're losing a couple games against your own division, but you still play them more than anybody else.
Oh, okay. All right.
You lose.
I was under the wrong impression then, so ignore me.
So starting next year, I think you play the NL teams, every NL team once, either
Correct.
home or away. You get one series against them.
Yeah.
You play the 2 other divisions twice, I think,
home
and then
home.
whatever's left, home and home, and then whatever's left is your own division.
I think it's 14 divisional games, so instead of 19 against the Yankees, will be 14.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
ignore me.
4 divisions of 8 would be cool. I would like that.
I would love it. I think that'd be awesome.
It's kind of like a throwback
you would see
there.
More teams more often, and you would. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that's what they do.
So what would our division be? You would think. I mean, considering assuming that no one crosses over from the AL to the NL, it would be Sox, Yankees, Orioles, Rays,
Yankees, Orioles, Jays,
Toronto, Detroit, Cleveland, and then the one expansion maybe.
Probably have. You would take Cleveland and Detroit, and then probably the expansion team would be the new AL East.
Along with Toronto and then the other teams in the AL East. Yeah. Where would the expansion
So, like,
team
if it's
go?
Nashville,
Montreal?
you would take Nashville in, or Montreal.
Yeah, Nashville and
Charlotte.
Montreal makes sense.
Charlotte, maybe?
Yeah, and then the AL, whatever, South, or whatever you want to call it, Southwest, would be like Vegas or someone, and then Seattle.
AL West would be Minnesota, KC, Texas, Houston, Angels, A's, Seattle, and then an expansion Vegas.
Oh, that's brutal for the White Sox.
Portland.
Maybe you give the Rays. Maybe the Rays go to the other division.
Maybe the Rays just move, and you can have like 3 new cities.
Yeah, or that.
The more I think about this, I don't know, because the AL would get both expansion teams, and then you got to think about, what about the NL now? Like some teams would have to cross over, right?
Why would the AL get both expansion teams?
Well, we were just saying, like, to even out the American League East and the American League West. Someone smarter than us draft this out. What the divisions could look like.
No. It'd be 8, 8, 8, and 8. It's 16 teams in each division. So there's 15 right now. So one would go each way. One AL team and one NL team.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
What do you
you're right. I guess
that's what it would be. I don't know why it would. Well, the NHL does that. They do two.
Well, then Chicago would be in the AL East then, instead of an expansion team, and then you just stick Vegas out west, and that's your extra AL team. and then NL, I guess, would be Mets, Phillies, Nationals, Pirates, Cincy, Atlanta, Miami, and then Milwaukee in the East.
Yeah.
Or expansion, and then you go for the West. You go St. Louis, you go Colorado, the Giants, the Dodgers, LA, San Diego, Arizona. That's 6. I might be missing. I don't think I named Cincinnati in there, so Cincinnati would be in the East. Yeah.
Yeah. So
in any event,
I just hope. Who's your guys' top 2? Who do you wish for expansion cities?
You go first, Liam.
Ooh.
Good question here.
This is a very good question. I'm gonna say Vancouver, and I'm gonna say Santo Domingo.
Oh,
Vancouver! Creative. Yeah. I like it.
I'm gonna be different. All those Blue Jays fans are there. They always travel to Seattle.
Okay.
They always pack T-Mobile or Safeco, whatever you want to call it. So
Seattle may not give up the territorial rights, though. I'm sure they have that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're
over the border. You think they have?
I'd think so.
Well, that's the whole reason. The A's couldn't move to San Jose, right? Because San Francisco had those territorial rights.
I hope they get their park, man. Such a historical franchise.
Yeah, I hope they don't move to Vegas. I keep them in Oakland. They just lost the order.
I read a thing that. Well, this was actually about the NBA, but I have to imagine it applies to the MLB as well. They don't want the expansion. They don't want a team to move to Vegas. They want an expansion team in Vegas because they get money. They get that expansion fee from them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, from the ownership group or whatever.
Yeah. And it's a lot of money. So I imagine it's the same thing.
I guess that makes sense. I would say Montreal getting a team again would be cool. Bring back the Expos. Yeah. That'd be nice.
At this point, there's so much noise around Nashville, though. I can't see it not happening.
I was going to say maybe Nashville would be awesome.
Yeah. Nashville or Charlotte, I feel like one of them has to be one of them.
I'd pick not Nashville that those are
it's sort of a similar area, sort of a similar region. I think one of them has to. That's such an untapped. Baseball's big. I don't know. It's
down the south, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. Everyone around there is just Braves fans. You know what I mean? But that's such a huge... North Carolina for baseball, that state is massive. Tennessee
that's what
is big. Yeah. That part of the country. That's SEC country.
I was wondering, do you guys think, because I was trying to think of an example. I mean, what was the last new MLB team? What was the last expansion team?
Diamondbacks and the Rays,
Diamondbacks and Rays, right?
98?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
it's been
I don't know
25 years.
But I was curious... there's a AAA team in Charlotte and in Nashville, and they both have renowned stadiums. I wonder if they were awarded a team, if they would just demo or pump money into that and make it a major league, or would they start fresh because they have great views and it's a whole thing.
At least in Charlotte, as far as I know, I have some family down there, and they're like, "Oh, the ballpark's awesome." Apparently, it's not. It's not. It wasn't built to be expanded upon.
Yeah, built up to 40,000. You know what I mean?
Right, like in MLS, they'll build these soccer-specific stadiums and give themselves enough room to potentially expand to say 35,000.
Yeah, when I was in Jersey in June, Liam, where Ripples play. That's I think in Newark or Jersey City, wherever it is.
I think it's Newark.
There's just a ton of random, just empty space around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have to think that Vegas is going to get one of those teams, though. And, they throw a park out there in the desert right on the Strip. With gambling being legalized all over the place, Massachusetts included. Now.
Yes, Mass. Got it today. Yeah.
I've
never gambled, but good.
I don't gamble. I don't gamble either. And people who want to sprinkle some money on the game is fine. I get a little uneasy seeing leagues climb into bed with gambling companies right off the bat, so quickly.
Fenway Sportsbook coming when?
Something's gonna happen. There's gonna be
probably
big
opening day 2023 if I had to guess.
They're gonna demolish the music hall and just put a sportsbook in.
Kiosks, or not a key, well, a storefront in Fenway where you can do bets and stuff. I bet.
Sure.
Wally giving out tickets, like Wally's got like the green clear visor on.
Wally comes and breaks your kneecaps if you're.
Smiley's got his bat.
Yeah.
There is mobster Smiley. He was wearing like a tux on opening day earlier in the year.
The Sigma male music playing, like, what do I get paid? But, you know, like, leagues coming into bed with all those companies, right? Something's going to happen within a couple of years, and it's going to be a big... I have a sinking feeling.
That's a safer bet than...
Or what do you mean? Like, a team was...
Like
a
the
whole
league's
team
like
was
going to turn
games and shit, like the Black Sox?
Maybe not like that big, but like something fishy. I don't even know how to put my finger on it.
In today's world, if a team was like really throwing games and stuff, could you imagine?
That would be crazy.
I'm rooting for it. I don't care which league it's in. It can be any of them.
Not baseball.
Historically, it's very weird. No one cares about the NBA referee thing. Like that never gets talked about. Really, it kind of came and went. Like,
it was a huge deal when it first happened. It was a major deal. Liam, do you remember when that was a thing?
Even today, no,
vaguely.
Yeah, it was a big deal when it happened. Like, I'm saying, like, people rarely are like, remember that? It just kind of like the guys involved still fucking games.
People joke about it, but like nobody's still pissed about it. Where you're like,
it didn't almost kill the league.
That were not indicted. Whatever the word is, like, who cares? But they still ref games. Guys that were involved with that. They still work and decide NBA games. It's crazy.
I think that would be an easy, like, no, you can't do this profession anymore, man. You gotta go.
Speaking of the Black Sox, you guys ever read the those like young adult books, the like Shoeless Joe and Me? The kid, he would travel back in time with his baseball cards.
I read like the Jackie Robinson one back.
Yeah,
in the
there
day.
was like a bunch. There was Babe. It was like Honus Wagner. I read all of them.
The Shoeless Joe one's that's a questionable character.
Yeah,
for a little child to go back in time with.
What's the funniest?
Just tossing around slurs.
What's the funniest player you can?
Alan Tudyk's character in 42 and Me.
Oh no! Oh no!
Cap Anson and Me.
Oh brother!
What was Alan Tudyk's name in 42?
That's a great question. He was the Phillies manager, right?
Was he the manager? Yeah, Ben Chapman. His name was Ben Chapman.
Because like they did take that, like that photo's a real thing, where they're like holding the bat together.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Tudyk's a man, not his character in 42, but
Ty Cobb and Me. I think there was definitely one of those, and that's problematic.
That's not even a bit. I do remember that one being one.
Beating up a homeless man with no hands.
Jesus. God. No.
Favorite, like, I'm going way off here. Like, your favorite, like, baseball, not an urban legend, but, like, stuff that's true, but it's, like, kind of that has, like, the mystique. Like, one example, like, Doc Ellis's no-hitter. Like, something like that.
Ooh,
well, for me, it's easy. It's either the Wade Boggs beer flight story.
Okay, of course.
And it wasn't 100 on a cross-country flight, but I think it was legitimately like 68. And one of his former teammates went on, I don't know if it was like The Fan in New York or whatever show he went on, but like he mapped it out. He'd be like, well, after the game, he'd have a six-pack, like just getting ready, like after showers, stuff like that. He'd have to hop on the coach bus to go to the airport. He'd dust off 5 beers there. Wait for the plane. He'd dust off another 5. And then, waiting for the plane to get off the tarmac, that's another 6. Like, he mapped out the entire thing. And he called another one of his teammates just out of the blue. Like, he played with him for 10 years. Out of the blue, randomly, he was like, hey, Joe Schmo, who's the player that we used to play with who could always throw him back no matter what? Instantly was like, oh, Boggs. Easily Boggs. It was Wade. Either that or any of the Ricky Henderson stories. The John
Olerud one is that's the best one in the world. Ricky, me.
One of my favorite ones is when he played for the Yankees. Their accountant noticed that their books were off by like $2 million. So the accountant's like, fuck, like I got to figure this out. Eventually finds the culprit and gives Ricky Henderson a call. And he's like, hey, Ricky, Our books are off by like $2 million. Do you have any reason why? Ricky Henderson took his signing bonus. He didn't sign it. He didn't cash it. He hung it up on his wall.
I just remembered mine. Oh, Liam, go. You go.
No, I was going to ask you this. Have you ever heard the Kevin Costner, Cal Ripken story?
That was mine!
Oh
yeah, such a good story. That's the first one that came to mind.
The lights? They
they postponed the game.
I'm so mad you just said that. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a good one.
That's the craziest one in the world.
I don't think it's true, but
I don't think it's true.
I think there's definitely some truth to it.
And there's another Cal Ripken one. I forgot the details, but it's like he really couldn't play that night. Like there was something, he was hurt, but he wasn't on the DL, but he like could not go that night. They like ruined the field or something. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if I've heard that one.
I don't know if I heard that. Yeah, I don't know.
That wouldn't surprise me though.
I don't remember the details, but
the Kevin Costner one is so good.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Look it up if you don't know what we're talking about. There's some great. Not that guys getting injured is great, but there are some like great injury story. I mean, Wade Boggs.
How about
taking off his cowboy boots? Like that was an old story.
I was gonna say, how about the one where they found like Sammy Sosa's bat was corked and they like put it in the umpire's room, and then like later in the day or like after the game, one of the guys on the Cubs like climbed through the vents.
Yeah,
to like go get it. That one's crazy too.
Yeah,
like
I don't know the story in full, but yeah, like they went in and like I don't know, like Indiana Jones did and put a different one in there.
I have one. This isn't really an urban legend or even sort of anything like we've said, but it's. Do you guys ever listen to Howard Stern? I love listening to like old Howard Stern. That's kind of cringe
not
or whatever.
Not really. No, not.
I don't even care if they cancel sports. That's wild.
That's wild. All-time drill tweet.
So Artie Lang on when he was, before. Well, actually, he's sober now, so shout out Artie Lang.
That's good.
But he's on, and he was telling a story about he was hanging out with Bob Uecker, and I want to say it was Norm Macdonald. They were at a Brewers game, and Bob Uecker invited Norm and Artie up into the booth, and he was shooting the shit with them. And so what he would do is he'd have like the pause, like the mute button on your mic that like turn off and stuff.
Yeah.
So he would be calling the game, but then he would like be horny in between calls. Like he'd go like he'd be like and Clemens with the 2-2 pitch. And he'd be like, so there's a deep drive to short or deep drive to left. Pause. You can look at the tits on that broad in section A, and then it's gone. He would just do it in between.
Fuck.
So good.
That's incredible. That one's very believable.
Bob Uecker, you need severe bonking.
Bob Uecker, yeah, he's a horn dog for sure.
He's a little stinker.
He is a little stinker.
It's a little stinker.
Joel Zumaya injured himself playing Guitar Hero. That's one that always kills me. Like in the playoffs.
The guy that was making
toast? I remember that.
Wasn't anyone making player? That might have been hockey. Hold on.
Do you guys remember why Buckholz's season was derailed in 2013?
No.
Because he had like. So, I mean, obviously, like, he was, like, 11. He started the season, I think, like, 11-0.
He's an all-star, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was out of control. But then some point, I don't know if it was, like, some point, but he had recently had a newborn baby. And one night, he had fallen asleep in, like, a lounge chair with the baby, and he was holding it. And then he woke up the next day and, like, had a stiff neck or something, and that's what, like, derailed the rest of his year.
Oh, really?
I do remember that now. Yeah.
Even though he still pitched in the playoffs, but like he just wasn't the same guy after that.
No, he was he was going to win the Cy Young.
He started the year so hot,
unbelievable that year. Yeah,
it's like 11-2 or something like that, something nuts.
Yeah, and he had like a 2 ERA or something like that.
And then
speaking of wild sports stories from the early 2010s, like to mid 2010s, remember when Nathan Horton left the Bruins for Columbus, and one of his deciding factors was that Columbus has a really cool. Well, no, that's always a rumor. But he had said at one point publicly that he really liked Columbus's aquarium, or zoo
Yeah.
for his kids.
Yeah.
That was like part of his decision.
The Sagan years. Oh, I'm sure there's even more stories we don't even know.
Sagan, we're so off base now, but Sagan has the worst.
I don't think we have any other baseball things to talk about, so let's just.
I haven't had any more breaking news come across my desk, so.
If you want, we're just gonna riff now.
Yeah.
Sagan has the worst contract in the NHL right now, as far as like value compared. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, nice
what's your guys' favorite Mario Kart track?
Yeah, let's get right into that. And again, like Jake had said, Jake kind of may have cut off there, but unless there's a major breaking news thing, which you already would have known at this point if there is a massive farm that happens.
That's true, yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're sitting there like, oh, they have no idea that Trout just got traded to the Pirates. They have no idea.
Not live.
Shohei Ohtani to Colorado.
Yes. Hey, shout out Daniel Bard getting a big goalie. 2 years.
Yeah, I'm happy for him.
I might fuck around and get a Rockies City Connect with Bard on it.
With him on it? Yeah. I like their City Connect.
I think they're second best ones for me.
I think they're the best ran organization in sports. I love them. I hope they never change.
Me too.
Someone, I think I retweeted, I forget who it was off the top of my head. I could try to find it, but someone was like, they just only make roster decisions based on the culture and just the vibe that they bring. If Rockies fans like rooting for you, up until a certain point at least, like you will like stick around. It has nothing to do with actually winning.
The front office philosophy seemingly changes every 12 hours.
The front office philosophy of the Colorado Rockies is just 2 words. It's dudes rock. That's all it is.
Dudes rock. That's right.
Yeah.
They don't play baseball. They just riff, baby. That's what they're doing. Dinger the mascot. He's just there to riff.
So some would say we are the Colorado Rockies of podcasting.
Oh yeah, talking about Mario Kart tracks.
I'm always saying that.
You've always said this.
You're hearing it. I mean, people are talking about it.
So yeah, Mario Kart tracks. Jake got excited.
3? Give a top 3 maybe.
I could probably give you a top 5. I could even do you 2 better. But Jake had tweeted out his excitement for the expansion pack for Mario Kart on the Switch, which included, what did it include there, Jake? It included was it?
I'll tell you what.
Mushroom Gorge.
The big two, the big 2 that people were waiting on were Mushroom Gorge and Waluigi Pinball,
which is a great course. Great course. Waluigi Pinball would probably make my top 5. I would say.
Ooh, okay. I think I know mine.
Let's hear it.
Well, okay, maybe I don't. Can you go?
Okay,
first?
I'll give you no specific order, and I'm gonna.
You got cold feet.
I know it. No, I don't. Too scary. I'm gonna institute a no rainbow road rule here. Say that 5 times fast. Because that's a cop out.
Yeah, no shot. No shot.
It's a cop out, especially not the Wii one, because that one I hate the Wii Rainbow Road. That one is infuriating. I would go Wario Coliseum from Double Dash. That course fucking rules. I love that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
A lot of this is kind of off the top of my head, but it is actual ones that I really like. Maple Tree Way from Wii.
Yeah,
big fan of Maple Tree Way.
Absolutely.
What is it? Yoshi Canyon from 64, just because of how fucking crazy it is.
Yeah, that's.
It's just tapped. I love the chaos of it. That you played on the 64, like 80% of the lap, it doesn't know who's in first because there's 15 different roads you can take. That's awesome. Again, there's probably a couple that I'm missing off the top of my head. I'd have to maybe look through them. Yoshi Circuit from Double Dash. I've always liked Yoshi Circuit.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm a big Yoshi guy. Yoshi's my favorite.
Yeah, no, me too. He's my main.
Yes, 100%. Mario Kart Wii, Yoshi, manual on the Mach bike. I'll clean up with him. I'll beat anybody. I'll beat any motherfucker in that game. And then a 5th. Let me think. I'm just trying to go through this bad radio. I'll call him Mount Rushmore for now. There you go. Let's see.
Okay.
Coconut Mall. Never. 5th is Coconut Mall. Never Coconut Mall.
So mine, I've got DK Mountain. That's number one from Double Dash.
That's a really good
Always
one.
my number one.
DK Summit from Wii is pretty good too. I like DK Summit.
Also good. Yep. Mount Wario from Mario Kart 8, which is the Switch one. Really great track. Shy Guy Falls from Mario Kart 8. Also a really great one. And then there's a couple of different ones this could be probably, but I will go, for the sake of being different, I will go... You did Coconut Mall and Maple Tree Way, right?
Yeah. You know what? I will. If you want Coconut Mall, I will take Coconut Mall off mine.
Actually, Wild Woods. Wild Woods is really great in Mario Kart 8 too. Fitz, get a Switch.
I gotta get a Switch because I'm not as familiar with Mario Kart 8. You know what's another one? I'm gonna. You can have Coconut Mall if you want. Koopa Cape from Wii is great. I'm a big Koopa Cape fan.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Love that one.
A good one.
I am unconscious at that track. Conscious.
Liam, you're gonna say you've never played Mario Kart? Like
no. It's gonna be very similar to that situation because I couldn't tell you the last time I played Mario Kart. One, because I was never good at it, which is another reason why I never played it.
How are you bad at Mario Kart? How is that possible?
Anytime I've played the new Switch one, I haven't been as good. I'm
terrible at it.
I'm nasty at the Wii one, and I'm pretty good at Double Dash. I haven't played enough of the new one on the Switch. I don't have one, so it's only sparingly here and there.
The only one I ever remember liking outside of Rainbow Road was Bowser's Castle, just because it was like dark and fiery.
Yeah,
that's the only one I vividly remember.
You're so edgy.
That's all. I remember that. I remember there was one on the beach. That's all I got.
Peach Beach.
Sure. Well, that makes sense.
Those little fuckers running around on the beach, and that's.
Oh, what the clack? Fuck! They're in Super Mario Sunshine. Those things. They're named clackers. Something like that.
And they call them clackers, folks. They walk on Peach Beach, and they ruin everybody's time.
Oh, Cataquack. That's their name.
And they call it Cataquack, folks.
Cataquacks.
Now, Super Mario Sunshine, that is one I played. I had that for the GameCube. I do remember that.
You get 120 stars on that?
I don't know. I don't even remember the interface. I just remember the first level.
Pathetic.
That's all I got.
So I could talk GameCube with you, but I never had a GameCube. But all my friends did. So anytime I was over their house, we'd rip GameCube. So I'm well versed enough in my GameCube talk. And also when I was on this computer I'm using now, my MacBook, MacBook, I had a GameCube emulator, so you could fire up whatever games there. Ton of Mario Kart played on this laptop here. It's great. Actually, I may have to beep that out because I don't know if that's legal, so I might beep it out.
I actually have a GameCube collection. I never sold my GameCube games. I've kept them my whole life. I have a GameCube collection. I tallied it last year, and I think I've only gone up, but it's worth $2,500. It's yeah. But I didn't spend any of. It's all I had from childhood. I bought a couple games, but that's my system. That's
So that's me with PS2. My laptop right now is actually on top of my PS2 currently, and I don't fire it up all the time anymore. But that's fire up MVP 05 every now and again, and I'll have a blast throughout an entire weekend. It's any of those like the old school Madden. I say old school, it was really just 15 years ago, but mid 2000s Madden games, NHL 2K5 on PlayStation 2 is a great game with Marty St. Louis on the cover, NCAA football on those. Just banger after Kendall Roy from Succession, all bangers all the time. That's PS2.
What was your favorite? Were you guys fans of the Mario sports games?
Mario Baseball was the best one.
Well, yeah.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong, actually. Sorry. Super
Mario. Are you going to say Strikers? Strikers is good. Strikers is very good.
Yeah. My only experience with Strikers comes from this new one on the Switch. So I don't know if the older versions are better or not.
Is that good?
The OG Strikers is one of the most fun party. I guess it's a party game I've ever played in my life. It's so fun and funny the way characters die when you hit.
You send them to the electric chair. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. It's so much fun. That was always great. You would play with your friends you'd be on the same team. You try to beat the Bowser Cup Challenge or whatever it was called, right? So you basically someone would be your star player a Mario or a Yoshi, whoever it is, and then you basically have 1, 2, or even 3 henchmen if you had all 4 people there, and you were the Toads or the Koopa Troopas, and you just fucking said to everyone, "Move, bitch, get out the way." Like any defender who tried to come towards Yoshi, you send them flying into the wall and you fry them to a crisp. That's
right.
That's guys being dudes there. That's looking out for your friends. That's what friends are for, really.
Yep,
but Mario Baseball is the best, man. Are you kidding me? Petey Piranha, left-handed stroke.
I can't give it to you. I'm sorry, I'm a strikers man. Sorry.
Petey Piranha would make Babe Ruth look like bad Pedro Siriaco, like Pedro Siriaco towards the end.
Ooh, that not a cool player to mock for me.
Pedro Siriaco?
Siriaco?
Oh, I love Pedro Siriaco.
Yeah. Well, you should have said he makes him look like who sucks? Who's got no redeeming qualities? I don't know.
Alan Craig.
Jarren Duran.
Alan Craig was a really great hitter for a while.
Well,
Jarren Duran. Yeah, Jarren, that's good.
There you go. I'll redo there. Yeah, Petey Piranha would make anyone look like Jarren Duran. Even though Jarren Duran's flaws are not happening at the plate currently, like his most glaring flaws. But again, besides the point, we're getting too into the weeds there. But King Boo, Petey Piranha, DK, your 3, 4, 5 hitters, that's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, that's good.
DK literally punched the ball. That was so fucking badass.
Yeah, that's the best part of
that was so cool.
Yeah. Not sure that's allowed, but he's a giant ape, so we'll let it fly.
What are you going to say? Tell me you can't do that?
Speaking of apes, have either of you guys seen Nope yet?
I did see Nope.
Oh, I saw it over the weekend. It was so good.
Weird little flick.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah,
Gordy, though. Gotta love him.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for anybody if you have because you want to go in blind, but I recommend it. It's
fun.
And weird.
It's fun.
I heard it's very good.
Gordy, you'll love him. He's adorable.
I think I like Get Out more, and I liked Us less. So it's firmly in the middle for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know if I could confidently rank all three right now. I haven't seen Us or Get Out in a couple years. You're built different, you know?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
How does it feel to be dunked on, Liam? How does it feel to be put on a poster?
If I were Liam, I would simply rank the film. I would simply rank the film.
It's like that Spider-Man meme where Venom's dunking on him.
Do we end the pod with Venom by Eminem?
Yes.
I guess we got to now.
You have to cut that out. Write down the time, because it needs to be a surprise when that song starts.
What do you guys think?
We end the pod with beep?
What do we think the wildest outro song has been so far? We should pull the audience.
Jedi Rock was pretty wild.
Jedi Rock, probably.
It's pretty good.
I don't know, everything else was like a real song. It's got to be Jedi Rock. Our Big Time Rush was fun. I like that one.
I liked when it was Liam and I. We did Bill Withers, just the two of us. That was a good one.
Oh, yeah. That's right, because Jake had died.
Yes,
I had died. Yeah, I don't remember where I was. I was in Disney. I was in Florida.
No, you were on another realm because you had passed
dead,
on.
Right? I was in the afterlife. Yeah,
he was in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. We'll say the Pot on Causeway one. Aaron Carter. That's how it be Jack. That's
listening
through that.
Good, yeah.
Holes digging up them holes.
Dig it up.
But then we got Venom, gotta get him, Venom, gotta get him.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
Have you seen that?
Wait, let me admit something. I thought that was a meme. I didn't know he actually rapped that.
He did.
Yeah.
When I pour it on Donald Trump.
I forgot.
Oh yeah, right. It's so weird, dumb. What a weird man.
I got a TikTok to show you when we get off, but it's I think about it often now when I think about Eminem, legend in his own right. But if he just stopped releasing music, that's okay. It's fine. Marshall, it's okay. You don't have to, talk about coffee pots and what have you. So is that gonna last call for any trades, Liam, before we sign off for the week?
I'm excited for the JD trade to break the second after we sign off.
Oh, as soon as we hop off, it's going to be JD or Vasquez.
If it's JD and or Vaz or whoever.
The Braves just signed Austin Riley to a 10-year contract.
They did? Or are you just saying that as a bit?
$212 million.
Oh,
really? Wow, he's had a great year.
Must be nice to sign your young stars.
You're
right.
cornerstone third
baseman. Let me
baseman.
a part of it someday.
Oh, goodness.
I'm actually going to tweet that. So
well, not for nothing. A Devers deal is going to have to kind of be based around that. Like, that's a benchmark. You're going to have to beat that.
Actually,
I mean, you're gonna have to beat 21 anyways. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to beat that regardless. So
I'm actually really happy with that deal. Actually, for those purposes.
Wow, 1 minute ago. There you go. I thought you were just doing a bit there, Jake.
I thought he was too. I wasn't sure if he was being serious. Skip it about that.
Yeah, thank you. Better late than never.
Thank you,
Liam. he did it. He did it. So
he did the thing.
So. Is that it? That's all I got for the week, fellas.
Yeah, that's all we got.
All right. Go Sox, I guess.
Pray to God that it works out for the Sox. Hopefully, you don't.
Juan Soto, let us be the first ones to welcome you to Boston.
Jake will show you around. Well, I don't want to dox where you are, but Back Bay. He'll show you around there. It will be a great time. Good times are going to be had by all, Juan Soto. So. For Liam, for Jake, I'm Fitz. You've been you. Thank you very much for joining us for another episode of Pod on Lansdowne. Go Sox. Go Waiver Wire. Or no, not Waiver Wire. Go Hot Stove. And yeah. Can you guys hear me? Am I frozen?
Yeah. I mean, your face is frozen.
I'm totally frozen right now.
But you're good.
100% frozen. So I'm going to try to end this broadcast.
Hashtag
but my
thank
laptop
you, Fitz.
Hashtag thank you, Fitz. I can't end the podcast because it's frozen on my computer.
Oh no!
I can't end it.
Oh boy!
This is. I will show you right now. I will take a video of this. But we've got a bit of a predicament in our hands.
What do you do? Do you leave? Do you leave and come back?
I know. I'm still in.
I don't think he can
rolling.
do anything on his computer.
I can't do anything. So we are just kind of sitting here. It's not much I can do here. You guys are frozen. This is very, very awkward.
This is great. Great way to end it.
So yeah, man, this weather, huh? It's been crazy. It's been nuts.
So what do we think Devers gets now? 230?
Way more than that.
250. 250, I bet.
Okay.
Oh, are we moving? Are we moving?
Oh, there was
you moved a little bit. Yeah.
I'm kind of moving. I'm kind of moving. A little bit. I got rainbow pinwheel, folks. Rainbow pinwheel.
Oh, Jesus. Not the
I'm frozen on a soy face right now. They have me on a soy face, which is not great. After and broadcast, come on. Can we end it? Can we end it? Come on. And the show. Turn off the lights. All right, now we're moving.
Liam, do your soy face.